just be at this point USDA?
That's the only one that's offering those type of studies right now, or those type of grants. And that's because they're federal. I mean, the state's really, I'm waiting on the state for some sewer plant funding that they promised that hasn't came through. RD or USDA is the only one out there that's really putting anything out at this point, mainly because they're federal.
But once we have that study, we can use it next year, the following year, and
Correct.
so we can get a grant, or until we do the work or pay for the work ourselves. But we've got to have it first.
Yeah, for whatever grant you apply for water, you pretty much have to have this study. And like I said, Hunt, we've listened to Hunt, we've had the meetings with them and whatnot, and Hunt does all right, does pretty good work as well, and they like to, offer the grant free. They'll write the grant free of charge, and then they only, if you get it, then they'll charge or whatever they got to do, but they want to secure the grant. That hasn't worked out so favorable for us so far. Like I said, this lady up here at MRB, she knows exactly who to contact, the exact senators or assembly people that she needs to write letters to, and she takes care of all that stuff. If it's something that, I think for my salt shed, she had me write actually she wrote it. I just had to put it on our letterhead and sign my name to it and send it to certain people, and basically trying to secure the grant. And she's really good at what she does. She knows exactly who to talk to and whatnot. So.
I don't remember if there was anything in there about the survey for just the water district for the median household income. Do you know if they will do that, or we'll have to go outside to do that too?
I believe, I would have to check on that, but I believe that was all included.
Okay.
I mean, she was the one who looked at over all this stuff. Greg that was here the one night here, I talked to him about it. I actually didn't talk to her, but Greg's my point of contact that I talked with, and he's the one who told me that it should, we should fit into the low income bracket or whatnot to qualify for the rates and stuff like that. So.
Okay, yeah, that's how we got it. That was the only way we could get it before too.
I mean, I can find out and let you guys know, email or whatnot as well.
Do you know when the date was for the submission for USDA, or is it rolling?
I think USDA is rolling
Okay.
for the most part. They're the ones that seem to be pretty good. The state ones, or the CFAs and stuff like that, are the ones that are usually by a certain date. And like I said, with the state ones, they didn't even put them out this year. Nothing happened in 2020. So. I just wanted to, if you guys had questions, I'm sorry I don't have the answer about that, but the way they explained it to me is that it did include the income.
Okay. There was another lady that offered to, if we had to do an income survey, I think they would do it, and theirs was free too, so we might have to look into them. I just remember from a meeting we did.
I believe that was at the meeting we had when I came up and met with you guys. It was with the IDA.
It was down in Bath.
Oh, okay. RCAP or something like that. RCAP, yeah. I know her name. She used to work for the health department, and then she went back to that job. Catherine something.
Catherine, yeah.
Yep.
Catherine. Okay,
So.
I'd make a motion that we go ahead with the $3,000 to get this grant started, this study for the grant started, because we're going to really need it for fixing up this mess that you get every year, twice a year, 3 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
The water breaks, get the loop done. You guys have it all written down, all itemized, the things that we want to shoot for the moon.
Right. Right.
So we don't have to do another study. Make sure you got everything in there that should be looked at.
MRB is pretty good at being complete.
Okay.
Being complete. I'm a little disappointed with our nitrate study in the village, and that is still ongoing. I know we had a meeting talking about that, but that study was specifically just for the nitrates. It really didn't cover the whole system. So that study's kind of not where MRB is really complete with what they do.
I just happened to glance at the Association of Town magazine. There's a new test that you guys have got to do now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
Are we set up to do that?
We are under the threshold for people at this point, for mandatory.
Okay,
The health department will definitely let us know when that comes, but right now we're under the threshold for the PFAS.
is it like 3,000, something like
mhm.
that? Okay. Yeah, I guess we got a ways to go, but if we ever hook in with,
Well, they'll keep lowering. They started out with these new required monitoring. They started out at there. I mean, it will be down. We'll have to do it eventually. It's just so that they don't mandate it on everybody all at the same time. There's a lot of small systems out there, so they start with the bigger systems and work their way down.
all right, but we'd wanna keep that in the study, especially if there's some machine that you've gotta have it tested. I don't know what you test with, so.
Mm-hmm.
I just turn on the tap and the water comes out, as far as I know.
A lot of stuff. That's actually a lot of that's lab work. That we would take it and send it to the lab.
All right,
So.
well, I made the motion that we
Cheryl,
contract
how do you
with,
want to word?
I'll make the motion that we contract with MRB, the $3,000 initial cost for them to start the study and grant application for the water district.
$3,000 cost to start the study.
Grant study for the water district improvements.
Second,
I'll second.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Did you have any?
I beg pardon?
I said, did you have any?
No, I read it,
Oh,
it's very
okay.
simple and straightforward.
Okay.
So Cheryl, the motion is to go with a $3,000 contract with MRB.
For the water study, for the water district.
To start grant for water district improvement. Okay.
No, second it?
Yes.
Okay.
The old trailer, I know we said we would, do sealed bid for
Did
that.
you account, all in favor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Richie thinks we need to put $1,000 reserve on that trailer. He thinks it's well worth that money, and to take any less than that would be, so. He's getting me the specifics for the ad on the name of it and all that stuff, but he will put the $1,000 on. I said in the past that Prattsburg's contacted me about the old landfill, and they would like to, see the woods behind there, which is about 14 acres, logged. There's some valuable timber in there, and I got a letter from Ed Brockman basically stating that, as you're aware from our recent correspondence to the county, a copy of which was forwarded to you, we have heard nothing substantial regarding the proposed solar facility. In any event, the Prattsburg Town Board is interested in determining whether there is harvestable timber on the landfill property. Please advise as to whether the Cohocton Town Board is interested in investigating that issue. Please advise,
We not have to put that up for bid?
they're getting, someone to, do an inventory and a scaling and species type and all that, and I talked to Ed, this week, or last week, and, I said that Terry Foltz had actually approached me about that probably a month or so ago, and, 'cause he had heard that Prattsburg was looking around, and he would be willing to do it from our end, to just do that, and then Prattsburg wants to get together to, compare the two things and see what we wanna do, and I don't know how, I guess we'd have to get out the survey map or whatever to see who owns what part of all of that.
Are
But,
they both loggers, or are they, what do they call a tree person that comes in from the cooperative extension, an arborist that tells you if they're diseased or if they're valuable, or what ones to cut and what ones not to cut?
Well, these are loggers who are gonna give us, what's harvestable, what's, from my understanding of it, and how much it might be worth to do,
Yeah,
to
that,
take out.
they will tell you that.
And then we'd have to get together, I guess, with Prattsburg to
Yeah,
determine how we're gonna.
I'm just concerned that someone's gonna say you favor somebody by letting them have the wood and buy the wood and, not put it up for, saying that we have X number of lots for sale. Just to cover.
Well, I think this isn't costing anything to have
No,
what,
no.
so to decide if it's even worth doing.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
it's not
worth-
a huge,
It's worth doing.
well, that's why Terry had approached me a while back saying that it's definitely worth doing.
I'm pretty
I know.
familiar with that
Oh,
piece
yeah,
of property.
you are. So is that something that,
I think we gotta pursue it.
Free money.
yeah, I mean, it's not gonna cost us anything to have him do it, and Prattsburg's gonna have somebody do it also. I saw, that Lenny and Ed today.
Yeah,
So-
there's a lot of maple and a lot of red oak in there.
Do we need a motion to do that?
Well, I'll make a motion that we get somebody in there to find out what the timber's worth.
Give us the guesstimate anyway, yeah.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Who seconded it? Who
No.
was the second?
Milt.
And are you going to name a person or just to get someone in there?
Yeah, I didn't name anyone.
To get an estimate of what the timber is worth?
Yes.
Correct.
David, since you weren't here, we've had a request from, some residents to abandon a part of a seasonal road. It's not been maintained by the town in quite some time, and we need a procedure to,
Do we know exactly how much road is to be abandoned?
we don't know at this exact time, because we didn't know how you even proceed ahead to do it.
Richie didn't know the procedures?
No, he doesn't know the
Which road
procedures
is
to do
Well,
it.
to start with, you'd need to know how much of which particular road is gonna be abandoned.
Mhm.
I mean, we don't need exactly, precise measurements, but, starting at some easily defined point and
Mhm.
stopping at another easily defined point. And we'd need a finding probably from the highway superintendent that the town has not maintained or worked that road for at least 5 years, and that it hasn't been much traveled by the public for that period.
Okay, and then, once we do that.
Once you have that, then the town can make a resolution to abandon that road. And you should notify all of the adjoining property owners.
They have to be posted, so there's no liability.
And you can do an absolute abandonment, in which case the unencumbered title to the roadbed reverts to the adjoining property owners. Because right now the town, technically the property owners own to the center line of the road, and the town has a right-of-way over it to keep the roadway open and maintain it. And that would be extinguished, and absolute title would then revert to all the adjoining property owners.
And I think that's what they're looking for, if I remember right. Do you remember where it was, Ron?
Yeah.
Mike wanted to know.
It was on, Oil Hollow Road. It cuts up over top of the hill and comes back out up on by Apex Acres by, I think it's Campbell Road. There's a section in there from where, I'm not sure which gun club it is, it's the one the Millenbackers are tied up with. Lake Hollow Gun Club.
I thought that was just a four-wheeler path.
That's what it is.
I thought it was just a
That's-
four-wheeler.
That is what it is, that's what it is, and they don't want that to be what it is.
Really?
Does anybody need that roadway for access to their property?
No,
I think most of it belongs to the gun club.
the gun club sold the land too, that's why the people who now own it are the ones who are interested in having it closed.
The only other one that might own up to it would be Doug Fay from Apex Acres from over on 121. Up through by, well, you know where Curtin lives,
Yeah.
right over top of the hill.
So if that roadway is abandoned, that portion of it, then nobody will become landlocked?
No,
And if it's abandoned, the property owner can post from the center of the road.
I'm sorry?
The landowner can post the property from the center of the road.
Yeah, if it's an
Reverse
absolute
back to the
abandonment,
landowner.
yes, once that's done. And
I would
that's so,
say you probably
and that's
can't
why
even
I
go
ask
down
if
to it
anybody needs
now.
access, because,
It's just a
Well,
four-wheeler.
it's the landowners that
Trees
approached me
across it
about
and
abandoning it
they got
because
a
they're
four-wheeler
getting
you
a
can
lot
get
of
through, but snowmobile, whatever.
four-wheelers
Four-wheelers,
and
sure.
bikes
Yeah.
and things using it, and then they go,
Out of
of
vehicle.
course, on their land and the rest, so we just, with you gone, nobody had any idea what the procedure would be to proceed on to start that.
I didn't realize.
yeah, I would like to, you know, get in touch with the highway superintendent, and he can verify that, because at some point the board's gonna have to make a finding that, the town hasn't maintained that road for 5 years, and the public use has been very sporadic.
30 years since I ran a truck
Well,
up
they
through
say
that
it's
road.
not passable other than on four-wheelers, but I'll have Richie give you a call.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Judy, if you could have them call me on my cell phone,
Okay,
738-2130.
Definitely been over 5 years.
so is everybody in agreement that I'll have Richie call David and we'll follow through? Okay. The town car was taken down to the highway barn to have them take a look at it. Barry went to move it and there weren't much to the brakes, there's no power steering. The guys took a look at it and basically said it's not drivable at this point. If they were even to work on it, it'd be over $1,500, and the value of the car right now, they said, is $300. So, I'd like a motion to
Scrap it.
scrap it and remove it from the insurance and
I move we scrap the town car and take it off the insurance and
turn the plates.
they can
It's put it
probably
for
take it
sale,
right
isn't it?
down to a Volca there to the junkyard.
$300 for it, you get $300 for it.
Maybe more than that, just than scrap.
We'll probably get about $300 for scrap.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
said
scrap's
that's
up a little bit right now.
what she said, we'd probably be able to get 300 for scrap, but we can, it's at the,
It's like,
it's there so they can put a sign, you know,
You can sell it, it'll be in someone's front
Yeah.
yard for a derby car.
I
We
can
can talk about it
We
again
might
next year.
not want that code guy.
We'll be talking about it again next year.
we could put that in the same ad with the trailer for
Yeah, you should.
sealed bids if, you know.
Well,
I second to scrap it.
yeah.
Okay.
Just-